Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is for the movie called First Man. Oscar-winning director Damien Chazelle and star Ryan Gosling re-team for the riveting story behind the first man mission to the moon, focusing on Neil Armstrong and the decade leading to the historic Apollo 11 flight. A visceral and intimate account told from Armstrong's perspective, based on the book by James R. Hansen. The film explores the triumphs and the cost on Armstrong, his family, his colleagues, and the nation itself of one of the most dangerous missions in history. This is a 2018 film. It is rated PG-13, and it runs 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now, obviously, stars Ryan Gosling, has a full lineup of stars, people that you'll recognize. Maybe you don't know their name, but you totally recognize them. So that's like the first thing that hits you is how many people are really in this film. So, First Man. Well, the first thing to say is that this was definitely in theater. I obviously did not see it in theater. I just saw it last night here on DVD. So, these kind of movies that I didn't want to see in theater and I see 3-4 months later, 6 months later after it was in theaters, I'm usually a little partial to hating it because I didn't see it in theater. And I want to be surprised, and I want to be, proven wrong why I didn't see it in theater. But this is one example of a movie that I did not want to see in theater because I thought it was boring. I didn't like the main actor, and I wasn't going to waste my money. And now that I've seen it on DVD, it just proved that I'm right. So I can't really get around that at all, and that's going to be my overall point, is that in theaters, this looked boring. Now that I've seen it, it was boring. So, we'll talk about the boring factor first, is the person that is Ryan Gosling. I have not really cared for him in almost any movie that he's done. Just the way he acts, the way he stares off into space, he thinks that intent look is somehow useful in a movie. But when I'm sitting here watching him just stare for like 10 minutes, I don't think that's interesting. And he does it in every movie he's in. He doesn't think that talking and showing emotion and having facial expressions is a useful tool for an actor. I just really don't think he does. So every movie that he's in is just a little boring. It's a little, crazy to just see people not talking, not moving their mouth, not doing anything for an extended period of time. And this one, he flaunts it. Like he plays this character of Neil Armstrong that's just a little off and doesn't like talking and interacting with people as is. And then Ryan Gosling is playing that character, and he doesn't like showing facial expressions or talking or moving his face in any way. And that combination is almost deadly. So it was very boring to watch him not do anything, to talk to people in an uncomfortable manner. Just everything that entails Ryan Gosling and Neil Armstrong together, combined, being a little bit stoic, was just hard to watch. The lady who plays Neil Armstrong's wife, she was all right. Like, she at least, was a normal human being and actually said some things that you kind of wanted her to say. But everybody else, this whole movie has an old time feel because it happened in the old times. And some people would say that's a good thing, to play up to the time period that you're in and all that. And I understand that point of view most of the time. A lot of movies, I think it's great that they're genuine and all that. I loved the movie of the year, what was it, last year or the year before, Shape of Water. I love how they embraced, the environment that they're in for the time period they're in. And, but this one, it's crazy to think that, that there was a time period in history that was so bland, that was so boring, where there's just no, personality or anything. There's like one or two really kind of comedic moments in this movie, and it feels so out of place. I mean, like, it just, what they're shooting for is to be plain and boring, and once they try being funny, it just doesn't fit, at all. So as far as the characters go and everything, everybody else is, kind of in that zone. And I think that for them to do what they're told and to fit into the mantra of this movie is fine. I mean, they're doing their job, but that doesn't impress me and make me want to say that this movie's good. I mean, like, I really don't want to discuss too much, but I would like to say that obviously we didn't really need this movie for the American public, for the worldly public. That, we had Apollo 11, we have, all kinds of space movies almost every other year or every year that are a lot more fun and a lot more action and all kinds of stuff than this movie. This really kind of tries to embrace, from the beginning of training, and then everything that happens in this, the Gemini, the, Apollo 10, everything seems to like fast forward and jump to the next event. And I think the reason why this movie does that is because it's like being self-aware that it knows other movies have covered like mostly everything that they're talking about. And so they feel like they have to just jump from thing to thing because they can't talk in too much detail because they know that another movie has done it, and they don't want to be a copycat per se, but they know they're a copycat. And it just had that feeling the whole time. And then the last thing for me is the music. I didn't know what to expect with this movie, obviously. I mean, I think I would have preferred a movie without music than to what they were offering here, because the music that they play is horrendous. Like, it's kind of screechy, kind of spooky kind of stuff, and it's supposed to try and help you realize that drama is coming or something momentous is about to come, but it just doesn't fit what they're shooting for. I mean, people are walking on the walkway to the shuttle. You don't need screechy orchestra symphony music right then. You just don't. So I don't know what they were thinking with the music the whole time of the movie, because it really comes in a lot. And every other time, it just feels completely wrong to be in there. And it just is not helping anything. And it's just really weird. So I think that's the summary of this movie, is everything that they're trying to do. It seems like they weren't really thinking it out, or they were realizing that they're just another space movie, because it's what it felt like the whole time. Like, Gosling to me is a really stupid kind of actor. I'm not really going to enjoy any of his movies unless he shows some more personality. And everybody else in here, I appreciate them being in this project, but it's like they knew what they were in. And so when I'm sitting here watching it as a complete movie, and I watch the whole thing, and it's all interesting, it's all history, blah blah blah. You still have to make it a movie. You still have to make it an entertainment factor, and you still have to have some kind of production and quality, and that sets you apart. And if you're gonna just do the same old thing that other people have done, then nobody's going to really care. And it doesn't matter what the quality of your movie is with all the space shuttles and everything. It just ends up being boring. So that's my word of the day for First Man. I'm going to give First Man a D. I did not like it. I can't suggest watching it. And I'm going to move on with my life saying that at least I sat through it awake. So thanks, guys. A D for First Man. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And as always, enjoy movies. Thanks.